Good day everyone. My name is Ronalyn Labio and this is my partner.
Hello everyone, my name is Pridvijan B. Blaskis
And we are from BEd 1A. The current issue that we are going to tackle is the children's rights. Around the world, child's rights are a topic of concern in every country. Every child, regardless of age, race, gender, wealth, or birthplace, deserves not just to live, but to thrive. Yet, millions of children's basic rights are denied and their childhoods are stolen from them by abuse, exploitation, or slavery. Many violations children face are a consequence of exploitative practices and education gaps in both developed and developing communities. But poverty, exploitation, and violence are not inevitable. With enlightened support from governments, civil society, and religious groups, vulnerable children can flourish and reach their highest potential. And now, let us know first what is child's rights. Child's rights are human rights that also recognize the special needs for care and protection of minors, children, and young people under the age of 18. All children have these rights regardless of religion, race, ethnicity, gender, or cultural background. No child should be treated unfairly on any basis. All adults should do what is best for the children. When adults make decisions, they should think about how their decisions will affect children. The government has a responsibility to make sure rights are protected. In the Philippines, thousands of children are robbed of their childhood and suffer lifelong developmental challenges as a result of violence. According to the Philippine National Baseline Study on Violence Against Children, 80% of Filipino children had experienced some form of violence in their lifetime, whether in the home, school, workplace, community, or during dating. 1 out of 5 children suffer from sexual abuse at home, in school, and in the community. 2 out of 5 children experience bullying from peers. 3 out of 5 children go through some form of psychological abuse. 4 out of 5 children grow up seeing some form of physical violence at home. 5 out of 10 children are victims of cyber violence. 6 out of 10 children are physically and psychologically abused. 7 out of 10 children don't have access to local protection services in their community.
History of children's rights. International standards have advanced dramatically over the past century. Explore the milestone. James Grant, Executive Director, UNICEF. James Marterson, Under Secretary General of Human Rights and Director, United Nations, Geneva. And under Andre Hepburn, Goodwill Ambassador of UNICEF. At UNICEF Press Conference as the UN General Assembly adopts the Conventions of the Rights of Child in the industrial country of the early 20th century. There were no standard protections for children. It was common them to work alongside adults, unsanitary and unsafe conditions. Growing recognitions of the injustices of their situation, propelled by greater understanding the developmental needs of children, leads on to a movement to better protect them. An international standard on child rights have advanced dramatically over the past century, but the gaps remain in meeting those ideals.
So the timeline on children's rights.
In 1924, the League of Nations adopted Geneva Declaration of Rights of the Child, drafted by England St. Gill, founder of Save the Children's Fund. The declaration articulates that all peoples own children the right to remain further development, development, special help in time of need, priority for relief, economic freedom and protection from exploitation, and upbringing that instills social consciousness and duty.
So in 1974, concerned about the vulnerability of women and children in emergency and conflict situations, the General Assembly calls on member states to observe the Declaration on the Protection of Women and Children. In emergency and armed conflict, the Declaration prohibits attacks against or imprisonment of civilians, women, and children, and upholds the sanctity of the rights of women and children during armed conflict.
In 1991, experts from UNICEF, Save the Children, Defense from Children International, other organizations meet, discuss, data gather. From the reporting process of the convictions in the right of child, the meeting leads to the formal establishment of the Child Rights International Network crime in 1995.
So in 1999, the International Labor Organization, or ILO, adopts the Worst Forms of Child Labor Convention, calling for the immediate prohibition and elimination of any form of work that is likely to harm the health, safety, or morals of children. UNICEF has been working with the ILO since 1996 to promote the ratification of international labor standards and policies concerning child labor timeline.
In 2011, a new optional protocol to the 1989 Convictions of the Right of the Child is adopted. Under this optional protocol in a communication procedure, the Committee on the Rights of the Child can field complaints of the child right violations and undertake investigation.
So the 12 rights of Filipino children. Number 1. Every child has the right to be born well. It is the responsibility of the parents to make sure they can provide a safe environment for their unborn child. This includes proper medical attention and care from conception, birth, and throughout childhood years in a newborn services unit or pediatric center. Number 2, every child has the right to a wholesome family life. The child first learning environment and teachers are their home and family. They are entitled to be a part of a loving family that will instill ethical values and morals in them. So number 3, every child has the right to be raised well and become contributing members of society. By raising them in a safe and loving environment, parents and guardians can shape the personalities of their young to be useful and contributing members of their respective communities when they grow older. So number 4, every child has the right to basic needs. The 4 basic needs of people outlined in the law are as follows: a balanced diet, adequate clothing, sufficient shelter, and proper health care. This also includes any other requirements to lead a healthy and active life. So number 5, every child has the right to access what they need to have a good life. This right goes beyond the basic needs and focuses more on the atmosphere of the place they will be raised in. A child's needs must always be attended to so they feel the support of people around them, which in turn will build and strengthen their character in adulthood. So number 6, every child has the right to education. In an ideal world, every child should have the means to go to a classroom and have access to books and learning materials that can enrich their intelligence and skills.
Rule number 7. Every child has the right to play and enjoy their youth. Children have the right to engage the wholesome recreational activities, whether they wish, and not be exploited for events that are deemed only for adults to, to do. Example, extensive manual labor. Number 8. Every child has the right to protect from danger. This includes a hazard that could affect their physical, mental, emotional state, such as removing them from dangers, living situation, preventing them from getting into accidents, or protecting them from the abuse of adults. Rights number 9. Every child has the right to live in a productive environment. Children should be surrounded by safe communities that inspire them to give back when they are older. This means staying away from bad influences and situations that can cause harm to their health. Number 10. Every child has the right to be cared for in the absence of their parents or guardian. If the parents or guardians fails to fulfill their rules, the state small assumes custody and care for the child, providing them with their fundamental needs for growth and development. Number 11. Every child has the right to good governance. Children also have a right to be born under the presence of good governance that can inspire them to become a helpful and active citizen. This doesn't necessarily mean that have to get involved with politics, but rather have an interest in being involved in political discussions for the betterment of their country. So number 12, every child has the right to freedom and peace. Last but not the least, every child has entitled to be do whatever they want in their lives, so long as it contributed to the peace and betterment of the communities they are a part of.
So who is the responsible to the rights of the children? Children's rights laid down in the Convention on the Rights of the Child have to be provided by adults or the state. Governments have the main responsibility to make sure the rights of the children are protected and provided for. All citizens have responsibilities to respect the rights of children as well. It also identifies parents as the primary caregiver of the child, where governments are charged with assisting families in fulfilling their role. However, the Convention also refers to the responsibilities of children, in particular to respect the rights of others, especially their parents.
The recommendations in these issues are public awareness, public visiting. So the first steps to do the governance is have a planned data management to prevent the violence. The government should take a public awareness to campaign so the local authority and service that have a capacity and response among members in the society. The government or the governance should have a public visiting services and create local level of child-friendly pathways to report the violence. The law of response services provide a minimum standards necessary protection of the children. The citizens needs to know or aware of the violence against children. The public awareness is built as momentum around the behaviors to prevent violence. The humanities needs to report or respond to violence visit citizens' responsibility. We all know the best partner in this is the society.
As a Filipino citizens, let us protect children's rights every day. Parents, guardians, and all adults should be vigilant in protecting and advocating for the rights of children. While this National Children's Month is a gentle reminder for everyone to ensure that they are creating a better world for young Filipinos to live in the future.
Let's continue to be great example to the kids and be consciousness of our actions in making a Philippines safety environment for them to take care and pass on the future generations.
That's
That's
all.
all.
Thank you for watching.